welcome to the show. I want to know a little bit about who you are.
Great. Who am I? Let's see. I am a dancer and emerging choreographer based in New York City. I'm from New Jersey originally. By profession, I am a dance administrator at the world-famous Broadway Dance Center in Manhattan. And not by profession, but hopefully one day by surprise to everybody, I'll be a choreographer with an established choreographer and teacher as well. Right now, I have on the side, apart from my job, I have a dance company. It was started by my mother in 2009. It's called Kalamandir Dance Company, and it's based in contemporary Indian dance. And my mother and I work really, really hard to run that together. I run the New York City branch of that company. And by contemporary Indian dance, we really mean taking classical Indian dance out of the four walls of its existence. So it's not a fusion per se. It's not a fusion of movements, which that word is very easily thrown around. But it's more about based in a grammar and then deliberately making choices to change the appearance of that grammar while not losing the integrity of its root. So everything that we do is extremely Indian in nature, but we experiment by putting it on non-Indian music or putting it with non-Indian storylines or things like that. We always keep one string of thought that is very, very classical, and therefore the overall experience becomes a fusion per se. My mother, her name is Malabika Guha. She is one of my teachers. She is my only guru that I can say that I've had in my adult life. She's an amazing Kathak dance teacher, and she runs Kalamandir of New Jersey Dance School. And she's my mentor, my teacher, my guru, my mother, my confidant, and together we run Kalamandir. And so between my job at Broadway Dance Center, which is the International Student Visa Program Coordinator, so I run the international program here, between that and Kalamandir Dance Company, which is a nonprofit organization, I am involved in that conversation of dance very, very, very often, as well as being an independent dance artist myself. So yeah, that's pretty much what I stay busy with, yeah.
Oh my, you have accomplished a whole lot.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about your team right now, like for the closing ceremony.
Yeah, for the closing ceremony, I have a great team. It's a collection between Kalamandir Dance Company professional dancers in New York, then Kalamandir of New Jersey Dance School dancers, so from my mother's school, and then many community dancers, so people from the community who have expressed interest. We have a really solid team, about 20 to 25 dancers, and having our rehearsals in New Jersey and New York and keeping the momentum going for this last month.
We are looking forward and very excited about the whole, about the closing ceremony, of course. So give us a glimpse about the closing ceremony. Like, what are we expecting? A little bit, not a whole lot.
A glimpse of it would be maybe a teaser. Would be that it's called the River Ganges, the purifier, the earth, the icon, the mother. I took these four elements of something that's very, very dear to Bengal, to India, which is the River Ganges. And for me, it was a social commentary. It was a little bit of a political commentary. It's a nature commentary. It's an ecosystem commentary. For me, it's a interesting dichotomy of what the River Ganges does to our psyche, because the River Ganges is it's multi-layered. I mean, it's a very important river, the same way the Nile is important in Egypt, and it's very there's a lot of mythology created around it. There's a lot of scientific research around it. There's a lot of practical use for the river, and it's a very holy river. It's interesting that it's so polluted, and so many things have happened over the years to the river, and yet we need a piece of that river anytime we go to do prayer, and there's something very holy about it. So I wanted to draw a parallel between the importance of the river to our heritage and how it travels through space. And what I mean by that is how it moves from the core of the earth all the way out into the atmosphere. So the purifier kind of represents the core of the earth, the hot lava core that's deep, deep, deep down inside the earth. The next chapter is the earth, which it talks about what's happening on the planet, what's happening in the soil. What does the River Ganges commentate on things like that? The next one is the icon being whatever we want it to be in terms of prayer, things that are above us, things that are above the human race, things that are above something to reach towards. And then the final chapter is the mother, and that's the overall mother, the idea of abundance, the idea of protection, the idea of vulnerability. And I think that these four elements can draw parallels to something as important as the River Ganges. And so using contemporary movement, we're going to have lots and lots of big, beautiful, sweepy movement that represents the river, but then we kind of access these four chapters as we're dancing. So it's going to be really, really good, and I'm excited. And I'm also excited to put on a show where there aren't any gimmicks, there aren't any tricks. You know, it's dancing. It's pure dancing. And so I'm really excited to share that with everybody.
Any particular style of dancing you're doing that, like?
Yeah, we've been coining the term contemporary Indian. Contemporary Indian is the style that we're creating in Kalamandir Dance Company. And so most of it is in my style, which is contemporary Indian dance.
Well, thanks for your time, Brenda.
Thank you so much for having me.